Hello, my name is Angel Zavala. This is for my English 100 class. This is my final presentation called Reevaluating the Drinking Age. 18 is the new 21. This whole presentation is essentially about lowering the drinking age from 21 to 18. So I hope that this helps you think of the stuff that we're in right now. So here it is. So this is my table of context, the upcoming things that we're going to talk about, essentially talk about. So, oh my god. So the first one is introduction. What is alcohol? Before we dive into like everything that we need to know about lowering the drinking age, we need to talk about what is alcohol, like what is it, you know. So what is alcohol simplification? So essentially, alcohol is made from ethanol alcohol or alcohol as some people say it. Um, Oh, so essentially, alcohol, if you drink it or if you consume it, depending on how much you consume, will basically give you this woozy feeling. Um, will give you this woozy feeling. Depending on who drinks it and how much they drink it, really just differs. If that makes sense. Alcohol originated. We know that alcohol originated in China, and it originated like thousands of years ago. So like in a Neolithic age, in that era when humans were first beginning to settle. It didn't go apparent. Like people didn't really start to drink alcohol until like, I think the medieval age, because water was contaminated, and if you drank water you would apparently be sick. So instead people had alcohol, which I think that's when alcoholics really started to rise. That's really important as we will talk about it later. But alcohol is really just like really famous all around the world, I would say. um and we know that alcohol is a huge influential to society, as it can be like actually it can actually be like from a whole different factors, if that makes sense. We're gonna talk about that in a bit. Okay, so this is the drinking age limit by country. So before we get to underage drinking, we need to know which countries, based on percentages, actually can actually drink based on their legal age, if that makes sense. We know that the US is 21. Some other countries also have 21, like Canada. We also know that some other countries, like the UK, is 18, and some other countries do not have an age limit. Any age can pretty much drink, and there's also some other countries that you can, like Mexico, you can ask a bartender, or you can ask someone if that you can purchase it for like a parent or something. You can pretty much lie and say okay, they'll give it to you, and you can just drink the alcohol without punishment. You can also Teens can also drink alcohol in the streets, but they cannot buy it, if that makes sense. So it took a lot of calculation, but we got it by a shocking, not really shocking, because most of the countries prefer it to be 18 to 20, and so on. No alcohol is 5.8%. Age 21 is 14.1%, which I thought was a lot less lower, but it isn't when I did my research. And then below 18 is 11.7%, which that one's a little shocking. I thought it was gonna be lower, but no, it should be lower anyways. And we're gonna find out why it should be lower. Or I want to teach you why it should technically be higher. Not like I want it to be at 18, but not higher or lower than 18, if that makes sense. Okay, so before we get into the whole thing, let's learn about the facts of such things. So alcohol, we know that alcohol has been seen as a celebratory beverage, meaning people use it to celebrate, which is one of the most common things, obviously. They use it whatever it's a holiday, it's their birthday, or it's a religious holiday. All of them can be excused, obviously. It also and you also have to comply with the laws depending on where you live, the country you're at, the city, and everything like that. We also and Okay, so to give you a background info, out of the 195 countries that exist in the world currently, as we're speaking, at December 10th, only a few, like the US and Canada, are at the age of 21 that you can drink alcohol, that you can legally buy and drink alcohol in public. Some other countries that we seen beforehand, You can drink alcohol, you can consume it, you can essentially just buy alcohol and all that. And then my thesis statement that I wrote for this is the United States should follow other countries like Italy and Canada and lower their drinking age because it lowers the likelihood of addiction and promotes responsibility. Okay, so notice that last part, promotes responsibility. That one's insanely important as we're gonna talk later why. At the end, at the conclusion section, I will be re-saying it, and I will tell you why. Okay, so now that we got the introduction out of the way, to why do we really drink? What are the important factors? Like, why do we really drink alcohol? As I said, in the last one, I mentioned how alcohol can be seen as a celebrity. Oh my god, you can you can drink alcohol on holidays, religions, and stuff. That's one of the reasons, but there's also other reasons as to why. Like, what are the real reasons why? So I want to mention the five dimensions I want to mention. I'm sorry if you can't see everything. So the first one is social. So what if you yeah, social. So it's people tend to drink because of family members or friends. You can say that it's from peer pressure, which we'll talk about later why it's really important. Um yeah, I would say it's from them, whatever they're drinking, and that they have the urge to drink because of it or because they want to celebrate it with people. That could be another reason. Sorry. The second factor of the five dimensions is coping. What if you got depressed and so you want to start drinking because it helps you cope? A lot of people use drinking as a way to cope because they lost a loved one, or because like whatever they're dead or whatever, whatever they died, or they just got separated from them and so they're having a really hard time, so therefore they cope. That could be a form of alcoholism or like alcoholics, if that makes sense. Third factor